Hey guys, it's Britta. It's time for another Sleepy Talk on episode 7, Deliverance, also known as Never a Good Day to Wake Up Rosemary. Just saying. I think that this kind of episode was like the bane of every Ichabbie shipper's existence. All about Katrina. But I will say, as much as, she's been disappointing, I think that she actually was alright this episode. She really came through. Strange. But it just seemed like I kind of cared about her this episode. I kind of maybe didn't want her to die towards the end. Nevertheless, it still made me a little like, oh gosh, please, Katrina, alright, goodbye, please. There were a few awesome highlights in this episode. Crane and Abbie voting for the first time. These little portions of Sleepy Hollow would make Crane running for Senate a plausible thing. Who says more of what the American people actually feel than Crane? Nobody on TV. One of the things that I love that the Sleepy writers have managed to do is wage some kind of triangle between Katrina, Headless, and Ichabbie, because it's really incredulous. And it's especially incredulous when you don't look at Headless as Abraham Van Brunt, but you just look at his stump and you look at the fact that Ichabbie is actually jealous about that. What? Why is he jealous of somebody with no head? I don't understand. That's one of the things, though, I'm hoping that they don't stop just because this little section has perhaps ended and now Katrina's, I'm guessing, on Team Witness again. I know Ichabbie shippers, I know. I think the best part of this episode was Ichabod and Henry's conversation. That conversation was absolutely excellent. Oh my gosh, like chill. One of the performances that really shined in this episode, aside from Katya Winter actually bringing some life to Katrina, was John Noble. I mean, he was always great. He was always very fascinating. But this episode, he was all kinds of crazy. This episode actually rivaled the season finale. Like, all kinds of crazy. Man, like just hearing him talk about it, like brings chills. He's crazy. Like, yeah, he's crazy. I do realize that what the Sleepy writers plan to do is redeem Henry. They've been kind of alluding to this over like during press period before the season premiered. So that's what's gonna happen. Though I'm actually irritated about that, I kind of want Henry, like if he's going to be redeemed, I kind of don't want him to be redeemed this season. Or if he is redeemed this season, perhaps not until like literally the last 2 episodes. Because I feel like it's a little too easy. I don't know, it's a little too easy. And though I understand Katrina's stance, she's always going to look at Henry from a mother's perspective. It's like, dude. But the next best discussion was Katrina and Abbie kind of forcing Ichabod to see both of their sides, and he's just like, okay, too much estrogen, it's just too much, please stop. I loved it. I do like that Katrina's thinking with her own mind, even though it's silly. And she's hoping that Henry will save her. Now I understand you want to go over and, try and get the person who caused this mess to kind of stop it. Kind of makes sense, but come on, dude, you really think him? I can't believe that. Team Abbie all the way, please stop. No, he's not going to save you. We're also dealing with the Horsemen of War. We're also dealing with somebody who's decided to side themselves with the enemy. So while he's deciding that, don't be on his side. Put him in a timeout and deal with it until Henry changes his mind. Hello? I think, though, this was an awesome episode for superhero Abbie, though. Like, there's nothing that makes me more ecstatic than being able to see a beautiful black woman just annihilating with her superhero experience. She was like Super Agent 101. She was fighting everybody. It was awesome. I love that kind of stuff. We don't get to see our ladies, you know, in that light most of the time. So it's super awesome to see Abbie taking names, numbers, and snatching it down, holding it down for Team Witness. Yes, one of Abbie's shining moments in this episode was still sticking with Katrina, regardless of what she disagreed with about Katrina and his thinking. And Katrina basically, you know, addressing the fact that Abbie doesn't agree with what she and Crane agrees with, and that's totally fine. Like, I love that Abbie just kind of stuck with Katrina that way. Like, she just wanted to save her. She didn't want any kind of harm to come to her, whatever. It's always very beautiful to see women, strong women, especially strong black women, being able to be that bold and that courageous and know what's right regardless of what side it's coming from. You just know what's right. And I appreciate the Sleepy writers for writing Abbie that way. Alright, when they go and try and save Katrina towards the middle of the episode, and they run straight to Reyes. First of all, awesome plan, because they needed to arrest all those peeps behind the situation. But Reyes, and then Reyes having the nerve to turn to Abbie and say, you know, you haven't given me and shown me that you're worthy of trust. Who are you, Reyes? Who are you? But in the middle of all of that, I love the fact that at the end, Reyes is swayed by Team Witness. Oh my gosh, you're cracking the Reyes. But I do wonder for how long. I was actually kind of sad when it looked like Katrina was gonna die. Like, I tried not to care, first of all, but their performances were actually great. And I think when Crane believes that she's actually dead, I was just like, please put him out of his misery. You can't die, Katrina, please, all right? You win, please, okay? Please, just go live happily ever after, just please. That being said, I think the fandom sides with Abbie when she's just like, I can't take this, I'm out this piece. Crane finally getting the whole that pal dude. What the freak was Henry doing in the last second of that episode? Was he trying to raise the succubus coming in the next episode? I will say, as an early preface to the next episode, of course Holly would be lured in by the succubus. Of course he would. Again, why else is he here? The only thing I'll say is that there seemed to be a lot of discontent about the show in the Tumblr tag. I can't speak for any other place because I don't really haunt any other place. But especially over the weekend when everyone kind of was giving their 2 cents about Deliverance being a Katrina-centric episode and Ichabbie. But either way, I feel like Ichabie's endgame no matter what, because even if Ichabod and Katrina stay together and nobody dies and it's happily ever after, Abbie's not going anywhere. Even if she falls in love with someone else and they live happily ever after, Team Witness can't go anywhere. Whether she and Ichabod fall in love, don't fall in love, fight, not fight, Team Witness is endgame, because if Team Witness falls away, the premise of the show is over. So, Katrina shippers, Ichabbie is in the game. And I do believe at some point, even though they're saying it's not romantic now, and even though it perhaps won't be in the classically romantic sense that we all want, I guess, I think that they just have their own one-of-a-kind moments that kind of elevate them over every ship in this show. It almost elevates itself over like conventional romance, if I may. Come on. They've had some really key moments over the past season 1 into season 2. Come on. The Sin Eater was one of them. The season finale where they embrace and he's like, I'm coming back for you. I'm coming back for you. Oh my gosh. Elevates itself. It elevates itself. In the season premiere of this episode, in the beginning, when they have the little fake out in the beginning, and she's like giving him a birthday party, I actually really loved that whole sequence kind of, because it was really eerie and really wrong, but it just felt like that's probably what it might be like if God, you know, if unfortunately Jenny and Katrina were to pass away. Either way, the point that I'm trying to make is that the end game, Katrina will never get rid of Abbie. Ever. So Katrina fans, if that's what you're looking for, I'm sorry. Like, I have already come to terms with the fact that we can't get rid of Katrina. They're shoving her down our throats. And in this episode, okay, I'm willing to ride on this ride if Katrina continues to grow from this episode. But if she doesn't, Fox, if she doesn't, Sleepy Riders, please don't continue to force her down our throats. It's unnecessary. Show don't tell. Show don't tell. Come on. To express some concerns of mine about season 2. I mean, I love season 2. I do feel like the writing is a bit different, and I know that there are a different set of Sleepy Riders on this episode, on this season than last season, and that's fine. But it just seems very Crane family portrait. I want more of Abbie family portrait. I want Abbie and Jenny. And I think that we've all kind of been saying this, and I hope that the writers are listening to us, because we love you guys, we love your talent. We're here because we want to see the show move forward. We know that we're not going to get every single thing that we want. That's not why we're voicing our opinions. We think you guys are awesome. But please balance this. We love Crane and his family drama. He's part of the reason why the drama exists in the first place. But like, give us some Abbie backstory, some Jenny backstory. We want to know what's going on with Irving. We don't want that to go away, because that's part of what made the show special. The fact that it was so diverse and dynamic and awesome. We want to see that continue. So come on, Sleepy Riders, where's Irving? He was and is still an important factor of the show. We don't want to see him sidelined to the freaking insane asylum while Holly gets to act ridiculous out in the open and freedom. I love Holly, don't get me wrong, he's fun, but I'm ready for him. If he's gonna be here, then be here. Show. We don't want to see him sidelined to the freaking insane asylum while Holly gets to act ridiculous out in the open and freedom. I love Holly, don't get me wrong, he's fun, but I'm ready for him. If he's gonna be here, then be here. Do something. Don't just be the person that they get stuff from and then runs like a little punk when things actually go down. What point does that make? Yes, so those were my highlights for Deliverance, Sleepy Hollow, episode 7. Thank you so much for listening to this hot mess of a rant. If you want to fangirl with me, please feel free to discuss all of this foolery in the comments. I love talking to people about, these kinds of things. I love Sleepy Hollow. I rant a lot on Tumblr. If you'd like to rant with me on Tumblr, I am Beat Spark the Soda Pop. If you would like to rant with me on Instagram, I am Brave Amber Beats. Or if you want to catch me on Twitter, I am Runaway Blue, drop the E. Thank you very much for listening to my ramble about our favorite people. I hope that you all have a really blessed week. It's been awesome. Hugs and love. Bye. I think that somebody out there should come up with a way where we do some kind of Sleepy Hollow reenactment colonial style situation, because I love that